Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. It has been 3 days since my mom has had a fresh floral arrangement, and that simply won't do. Today I'm working with this, I don't know what it is, but it's got that thing. So, I mean, it's like I'm assuming like a warming dish. It doesn't have a cord with it or anything. I really need to get that sticker off the back, but it is incredibly persistent. So. Alright, I have not worked with this shape yet. I mean, I had before, but not here. It's big, it's low, and it's going to take a lot of flowers, but I got a lot of flowers. So I'm going to put some floral foam in here. I just have this off to the side in a very attractive and aesthetically pleasing bucket from Dollar Tree. When you work with foam like this, the temptation is to like sink it down below water, but don't do that because it won't absorb the water correctly. You have to like let it float and then it'll sink by itself. So this is one brick. I cut a little bit off one side, and then I'm dividing, and then I divided that section in half. Where is this long hair coming from? Okay. So that should be good. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but you know, we'll figure it out. I have a dahlia, y'all, my first dahlia. Right here. Look how pretty. And it's got a little bud on it. I definitely want to use that. But I also have some not strange things, but new things. I have Gladiolus. There's one over here and one back there. I have a giant canna leaf. I have some canna blooms. And then the stuff I always use because that's what's blooming. But I'm very, oh, and I have roses, freshly rained on. So I'm going to start with, I think, this giant canna leaf because it's maybe way too big. I mean, yeah, it's a little big. But I am thinking they kind of peel apart like that. Can I get this one up? These do not fare. I mean, they grow like crazy over here. They grow like weeds. They're incredibly invasive, but they don't fare very well as soon as they get too much wind or stuff blowing around because the leaves get all tattered. But these looked pretty good. This stem's a little weak. I'm just gonna take my time and nestle it down, man. And wow, that is a statement leaf right there. All right, so I always build like that's my thing. I mean, I can't. I mean, it's like me putting the bow on in the same spot every time I make a wreath. Let's see. Let me try to work with these Gladiolus. If I could get them out of here. These have long leaves on them too. This is a little too open. I mean, but as the flowers fade, you can pick them off. But see, the top part is still closed. That's kind of when you want to pick it. A little bit early. The other one I'm going to show you is a better example. But this is... They're supposed to grow straight. Mine on stakes, so this one flopped and the other one flopped, and then they grow towards the light, so there's a curve in the stem. Alright. And then this one. This one's definitely purple. This one's like a magenta purple. These have some... I don't know if you guys can see that. I think this is from thrips. It's a little bug that love Gladiolus, and you're supposed to like destroy the flowers. I'm sorry. These ones are grown for 3 months. I'm not destroying this flower because it's got a little imperfection on it. I really want that to go there, so because it'll kind of open like that. I can tell you already, my mom is gonna hate this bowl. But she'll love what's in it, so. You gotta do what you gotta do. Grab some Coleus. I always put the Coleus in because by the time all this is dead and it gets to be thrown away, the foam will get recycled, used again, and then this will have roots on it. The roots are going to grow right here from where I cut off the bottom leaves. So my mom can take that, or actually I can take it back because I don't think she's not as interested in eating every piece of the plant and putting it to use like I am. I'm like, I want to enjoy it in a vase and then I want to plant it back out in the garden. So in a couple of weeks I can cut it again and put it back in a vase. Is this one with the leaves? No. These are caramel with pollen. Put this down here because eventually, I'm going to put this up here. I'm leaving it forward. Those petals on the Gladiolus will fall. Let's see, sprig of mint. This is apple mint. I like upright mints. This one's all curly because my mint is so overgrown that it's just spilling out everywhere. I'm going to cut right below where I stripped out these leaves because that'll be a point for it to root. And there's no water in this right now. I mean, the foam is soaked. The foam is saturated, but there's no water yet, so I will top up. I will top up once I get the arrangement done. Beautiful. This is a lighter sunflower. I think this one's called Lemon Ice. All these flowers are shoved in here, so they're a little cramped up, but they should bounce back nicely. So let's clear through the foam. This beauty. It's got a couple of little marks on it, but how big? Oh, I have big hands. You gotta be careful with Zinnias because they're stems are somewhat hollow and you don't want to crush that because then it can't drink water. And I'll twist, I'm always twisting things back and forth to get them to behave. Alright, it is your time. It is your time, my dear. This is a Lake Tahoe zinnia. Oh, not a zinnia, a dahlia. This is my first year growing dahlias, and I understand what the big fuss is all about. Not the middle, but like here. Beautiful. That is such a pretty dahlia. Not the color I was expecting it to be, but that's like a running theme with my garden this year. Okay. Let's see. Everything's just falling out over here, that's fine. This is another flower from the canna. This is a bloom. I usually cut these off because I don't much care for them, and then just leave the leaves to grow in my yard, but I thought we could give this one a try. I want to build up back here a little bit. A little too upright. Oh, I love that squeaky sound. Okay. Another piece of mint. This one is not cooperating. Little sunflower for the front right here. I don't keep sunflower leaves on because they're not my favorite. And it's hard enough to find a sunflower that looks good without adding leaves into the mix. This is a little petite zinnia. I don't know why it's so small. I might leave them now. I might take that leaf off and I'll leave the other ones. And I know these colors aren't like, you know, there's no scheme. I don't do that. Like, I'm picking what looks good. As long as it's nice and colorful, I'm happy with that. And these are the Eldorado zinnias that kind of match Lake Tahoe. That is not in there very good at all. The foam is there to support the flower, but I will poke holes if I need to, because this is all going to get filled up with water anyway. So even if they're not embedded in the foam, they will still have water coming up to let them drink. And this other pretty big zip, but this one looks bigger. Or does this one look bigger? This one has a caterpillar on it. See him right there? That's what's putting the holes in my flowers. This one looked like it was... It's got all the open petals right here, and then there are petals coming out of the middle. Zinnias are weird like that. Zinnias like have weird mutations, which I think is cool sometimes. Unless you get a bunch that just look really weird. This is Queen Lime. I was like, I know I have a big piece of Coleus somewhere. I was outside with the dog right before I started filming this, and I cut a piece of this. Is it not the same? They're the same ones. Okay. I was like, let me throw that in there, but they're the same exact flower. Same exact, well, I guess it is a flower. I want this to be here, but I just want it popping up a little bit, so I'm gonna cut there. I'm gonna pull these leaves off. You can try to root these. How many Coleus do you really need? Trick question, you need all of them because they're beautiful. Okay. The part that I'm dreading because these are the thorniest roses. I have some that are gigantic. from the same bush, but these are, these two I have today are smaller, but they're going to open pretty big. I'm going to cut off some of these thorns because I'm not in the mood to be wearing band-aids on my hands for the next 2 days. Where do you want to live? You want to live over there? That's pretty. The roses have such nice strong stems. This needed a fresh cut and I didn't give it to it. So it might stay in the water and I'll just root that, but I might put it in here because it's going to perk up. Here's another Eldorado. I want to do like a little cluster of those maybe? Yeah, see, my leaves are not great on these flowers. They have a bacterial leaf spot, and of course they're like, throw it away. And I said, no, because it doesn't affect the flower. Just the leaves look like terrible. You guys are going to have to tell me how the audio on this sounds because I don't like those two next to each other. I unplugged my refrigerator to make this video because every time I edit a video I hear in the background, and I said, nope, I'm done with that. Let's see how we're going around the back. My mom's been putting these on a little console table she has, so they're kind of one-sided, but I still don't like the idea of there being a big gap back there. Like that, that's okay with me. Maybe. I'll probably end up filling it with something. Maybe this. That probably won't root, but you never know. Coleus is incredibly resistant, especially those little leaf nodes right there. Resilient, not resistant. What's resistant too? Nothing's ever eaten my Coleus. Alright, I really wish that this had perked up. With another red, with another caterpillar. Awesome. Or is it the same one? I don't know. Go in there. I am more than happy to share my garden with the birds and the squirrels that eat my cherry tomatoes if I don't get out there and pick them quick enough. But I don't share with the non-beneficial insects. Let's see, I'm just going to poke a hole right there, bigger than the stem, and then I can slide the stem in. Okay, do we have a... Oh, I have just the head here. That's cool. I like that. Oh! Crap. Oh, yes. Yes, I think so. Might have to pull that mint out and replace it, but... The leaves on this actually look pretty good, too. That one doesn't. That one's got a little powder. I love using the spent heads, especially because these are branching sunflowers, so this one's done before this one even opens most of the time. I think. Does it leave too big of a gap? Can I even take yes, it does leave too big of a gap. But I can stick a purple back here, because there's no purple back there. And that leaf's coming off because it's hiding the bud of that dahlia, and dahlias are too expensive for me to hide. Any part of it. This is a climbing rose that was clipped to my fence right there. And I said, oh, I don't want to cut that one, but I need it. But it'll just branch off from where I cut it. It'll be fine. Ow. Oh my God. I think these roses are really nice. Not the color they were supposed to be, but you know, that's a running theme. They're really nice, but man, these thorns are just something else. Put these together. Can you go in here? So we got a little symmetry going on right there. This is coming together. I think we're nearly done after I shove a bunch of more stuff in here. It's another queen lime. I think just not the nicest leaves. Which I expected, because if there is a plant that can get powdery mildew or a bacterial leaf disease or something, it's going to get it from being planted down here. It doesn't matter, you know, when you water, how you water. It's too wet all the time. Okay, I think this one's going to be cut in half. Right here. This can go back in here where it was. There you go, sir. Or ma'am. I usually don't like to have a cut stem like that showing, but I think y'all, what do y'all think? Y'all think there's enough going on that it doesn't detract? There, strip those off. And bring you in right there. You go down like, this is something, I don't know if you guys can, no, there's too much stuff in the way. If I have a stem that's slightly soft, I'll put my fingers on either side of it and just guide it in like that. I love when flowers mimic each other. Like the zinnia kind of looks like the dahlias, and like if I had sweet peas, they would kind of look like Zinnias, which kind of looks like roses. I would really like it if you would just join the pot. There we go. That's better, huh? Get that one upturned a little bit. I did not think I had enough flowers to fill this thing, but I think we're going to be okay. And I just snapped the stem on that one. Oh, that's cool. And now I just ripped the head off, so that's even cooler. stem is going to need a little placeholder. Oh, I'll work the petal off. Yeah, it's fine. And if you're just doing this for yourself, I hope you're not watching these videos that try to learn how to do this professionally, because I am not the one, sis. I'm not going to worry about stuff like that. I got enough to worry about. This mint smells so good. Like, even fine apple mint, even if you're not going to use it for flower arranging, like, just get it. It smells so good. I need something here. Well, this one's, it's pretty much the same color. I mean, I guess I could, I know this is going to plump back up, so I'm fine with putting in there, even if it might not look great to begin with. By the time my mom gets this, it'll be nice and plump. I'm going to kind of angle it back so it drapes in the same direction of this stuff over here. I told you to go up. What's your problem? And it slipped again. That one can go over some, and then I can use a piece of It's Gladiolus over here. Really thinks I'm just going to let it slide, but not today. Okay, let's work on this. Oh, there we go. I'm very happy with this so far. And this poor thing is like hidden back here, but I think that one's going to lose its petals pretty soon. And that looks like crap, so the benefit of growing your own flowers is that when you run out, you can just go cut a bunch more. I didn't cut a bunch more, but I cut a couple. I think maybe this Coleus just kind of looks limp all the time, because I just cut this one 14 seconds ago and it's already like, eh. I was hoping I had another red zinnia because that one looks kind of out of place, but no such luck. Oh, there's one right here too. Can you peek up a little bit? Thank you. You are out. And you are in. Okay, that's pretty much what I want. big glaring holes that need to be filled. Again, this is a one-sided arrangement, but I still like it too. Look good. Yeah, like see, this is... Oh, I just cut off 2 potential blooms right there. I cut that too low. The leaves, these are well, when you cut, like normally I would have cut here and then it would have branched off right there and these would have been 2 flowers, but what you gonna do? So I think this is kind of the front. Oh cool, everybody agrees with me. Awesome. I know I love you guys for a reason. Do some investigation. Oh. When you know you poked the hole in, but you can't quite find it. My time hop god only knows what that would show. Okay, I like this. Definitely got a nice variety in it. Okay, moment. Cool. Let's stick that in there. I feel like I like foam because it does hold everything so nicely, but if you're working with something with a soft stem, it can kind of work against you. See these 2 flowers right here? Those are both the same flower. Those are both Queen Lime Zinnias. There's just such a variation in them. Like all 3 of these. This one's really pretty. You fell out already? I don't think I'm going to get to my mom's today, so if those aren't perked up by tomorrow, I will just take them out because I don't think any of them are providing. You know, it's not like they're essential. They're not, you know, this or one of the Gladiolus or something, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal if they are removed. And I'm okay with these right next to each other at the back. I'd rather see 2 flowers next to each other than I want to see a bunch of foam showing. And everything? Everybody? I wouldn't mind getting one of these in here, but... Yeah, because this is the leaf from the Gladiolus, but it's like 2.5 feet long. I mean, I don't want it out here because then it'll be sticking straight out. I'm kind of stroking this completely off screen to encourage it to. There we go. Do that. Oh, that's pretty. Alright, last step before I get to clean all this mess up, because you'll know how I feel about the messes. Yeah, I really think this is going to perk up, so I'm just going to... stick her back there. Alright, this water already has 2 caterpillars in it, somewhere, but it already has a flower food in it, so I am going to very carefully so it's filled almost to the top. Everything will be able to drink, whether it's securely in the foam or just kind of sitting in the foam. And yeah, that should get my mom about 10 days. I don't know which are going to fade faster. I mean, which are going to fade first. The zinnias, y'all, my mom's going on like 14 days of zinnias in one of the arrangements. You know, I took it apart because a lot of the stuff was dead, but some of it still had some life, and the zinnias were still going. So I said, okay, so this will open all the way down here. This will open a little bit more up there, and then as this dies back, my mama can pull those off. These are going to probably fall off first, I would imagine. The canna blossoms. But the zinnias hold up. The dahlias are supposed to be at least 7 days. Yeah. I made sure everything was definitely in water, because last time I gave it to her, and then I went to her house the next day, and a couple of the things were like limp, and they weren't even in the foam. They were in the foam, they just weren't in the water. Okay, so... oh, I can almost get... they go into the whole thing's in frame, maybe? Yes. Alright, so, Gladiolus, Sunflower, Coleus, Canna, Dahlia, Zinnia, Rose, Apple Mint, Delicious, is a Dahlia Bud. Is that all we got? Okay guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Links are in the description. I'm going to pop some pictures up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.